I deleted Instagram on my phone. How many of y'all delete social media just to re-download it like 5 minutes later? That's the wavelength I'm on right now. Deleted it. It was pissing me off. I deleted a lot of stuff on my phone. I deleted WhatsApp. That's going to be big. That's going to be huge. You know what time it is? It's Nicky o'clock. George, I'm still popping the Nicorettes. You said they were bad for my teeth? Couldn't find any substantial evidence online that was true. So I'm doing my afternoon Nicky. And I'm going to get Instagram popped up here. And we'll get rocking and rolling. Whatever questions you guys have, pop in here, ask them away. I know this is a surprise live. So let's see what we can get. Boom. What's good, IG? What is good? What up, 432 Mon? What's good, Cody? We spoke exactly a week ago. And yeah, almost exactly this time. 432 Mon. Who is that? Salsa King. Appreciate you. Going salsa dancing tonight. Ton Moy 247. What's good? Artie from Canada. You still hustling books, Artie? You still doing your game stuff? I know you used to have a course on how to get laid. You still doing that? What's good, Jack? Get your ass to practice. Is that Jack the wrestler, Jack? Dave, what's good? Whatever questions you guys have about selling on Amazon, let's get rocking and rolling here. About this book, not to sell on Amazon, but to read. The name of it is 3 Pillars of Zen. I'm not ready yet, but hopefully when I'm done with this, I get zenned out. Do need to read more. I sell too many books. Don't read enough books. Got some big changes coming this week. Might be selling a business tomorrow. That would be exciting. Would be my second exit ever. My first exit on a business was when I started my landscaping company. Edis says I'm from California. What's good? Started my landscaping company years ago, and I created this big Excel sheet of all the customers I had, and I sold that list for $4,000. Really $2,500 because I sold a weed eater for $1,500. So I sold $1,500 worth of equipment, and then I sold $2,500 worth of the list. But tomorrow, I don't know if I'm going to be offered $100,000 for my business. I don't know if I'm going to be offered $10,000 for my business. This business made $200,000 one year, and it's made $70,000. So it's between $200,000 and $70,000. That's a pretty wide range. So we'll see what I get offered. What up, Jerry the Jerry and Deke coming in here. Deke with the classic Let's Get Rich. I second that. I concur. Appreciate you coming in. We got Armand over here saying wealth on YouTube. Whatever questions you guys have about selling on Amazon at all, I'll be on here for about 10 more minutes. Feel free to ask away. It can be about selling books. It can be about wholesale. How's the SaaS? SaaS is going well. Go-to lister is growing. We are almost at 600 users. So it's a good day. Cannot complain. I'm blessed. There's cicadas outside. 13 and 17-year cicadas are outside right now. I got to walk around with my dad today. What the fuck do I have to complain about in my life? Like, life is good. I got to go walk outside with my father. I almost said who birthed me, but he was responsible partly for my birthing, and see cicadas with him on a fucking Thursday afternoon. How amazing is that? Are there any books on buying books to sell to bookstores? That's a fucking tongue twister there, Steve. And YouTube, if you have questions, go ahead and ask them. Any questions at all about selling on Amazon? Steve says, are there any books on buying books to sell books to a bookstore? Not that I know of. but it's simple. You find out what the bookstore wants and you give it to them. Most bookstores like fast-selling books. What are fast-selling books? Fiction or expensive books. I only need to make about 990,000 more to reach that magic plateau. Is that right? Is that right? Keep going then. That's not that much. That's only about 3 textbooks. Sellmore _5. What's good? Artie, how's life? How's life up in Canada? How is life? Whatever questions you guys have. I know I surprise attacked you with these lives, so let's keep it Amazon related. What business am I selling? I might sell restrictedinventory.com. We'll see. We'll see. I'm going to try and preserve it. I'm going to try and keep it a solution for the community. You know what I mean? But we have a potential buyer. So I'm going to speak with them tomorrow and we'll see how it goes. Rake and Profit in the house, coming in right around Nikki o'clock. That means it's time for a 2 milli Nikki, which I've already popped. Hopefully Steve's popped his. Thinking of moving to the US. Amazon is a lot better in the US. You can sell on .com, bro. Use your passport, set up a prep center in the United States, and just capitalize on .com. I have a friend from the UK who moved to Paraguay. This sounds like a fucking rhyme. I have a friend from the UK who moved to Paraguay, who became a Paraguayan resident, then moved to Mexico City. He's an offshore Paraguayan resident living in Mexico City, selling on Amazon.com, doesn't pay taxes. And you're in Canada. You can figure it out. What's good, Rose? Rose just entered the chat. She will be salsa dancing tonight. What's good? Congratulations. What type of book do you sell the most? I almost exclusively sell textbooks. That is the extent of my business. And tomorrow somebody might purchase it. Would be very exciting. But when I was cherry picking years ago, I sold $80,000 worth of used books, living out of my car, my first year ever selling on Amazon. And I primarily sold nonfiction books. The reason why I sold nonfiction books is they sell for a lot more than fiction books sell for on Amazon used. They don't sell more frequently. They just sell for a higher dollar amount. Fiction books are the fastest selling books, are the most read books. Anyone that wants to argue with me, go to any used bookstore, look at the nonfiction section. You can tell those books have rarely been read. People don't really read nonfiction. They like to have nonfiction on their shelves to make them look smarter. But if you look at those paperback novels, 50 Shades of Grey, those girls will tear through that book 20 fucking times in a week. And they will fold that shit in half while they're biting their lips. Fiction is the most read category, which means it's a big opportunity for us as well. It just tends to be between, it's too cheap to really make money off of. How can you raise your inventory level on Amazon? I can only send in 1,200. Beard King Picker. Are you out of South Carolina? Are you out of Alabama? Beard King Picker. You can raise your inventory by paying them. You pay Amazon for more storage. They will rebate you the amount if you end up selling through X amount of your inventory. You can just Google it. You can find out some more. We got Michael on here asking, you live in Florida. I do not live in Florida. I live in Nashville, but you're probably referring to my older post where I was in Florida. How do you feel about the market as far as inventory? I lived in Connecticut and was able to find a bunch of stuff. Now I live in Naples, can't find jack. Well, the good thing about Naples is there's a lot of old people there, so I would try to tap into the nursing homes, and you'd be surprised. I would really try to tap into people dying and going to their houses and helping them liquidate inventory. On a serious note, like, people pass away, they have a bunch of profitable books. I would try and tap into that somehow. I would call clean out companies. I would call estate sale companies. I would land connections with those companies. And in Naples, in Florida in general, there's a ton of older people. That may be your honey hole in South Florida. Now, when I lived in Miami, thrift stores sucked in Miami. Thrift stores were really bad. But the thrift stores up north were good. North of Miami, a lot of wealth. And it was good. Any mentors that we should follow in the bulk game? That are actually making money. Yeah, there's a lot of bulk sellers making money. You can follow Van City Books on here on Instagram. Just type in Van City Books, exactly how it sounds. They did 1.6 million profit last year selling used books. Dave Can Read does close to $1 million a month in used books. He's been in the game for 16 years. You can follow him on Instagram, Dave Can Read. Those are both two people. Booksellers don't really like to share their journey too much on social media. Why do they not like to share their journey? Why the fuck would they? I mean, I do think there is some ROI they could have, but you got to realize most bulk people have one source in their city that they're dominating, and they don't want to advertise all that shit on social media and then have somebody go steal their one source. So you don't see a lot of these booksellers making a ton of money posted on social media. Fiction books got it. Fiction books are the fastest selling books, but they're usually the least profitable books, if that makes sense. The bearded picker, not to be confused with Beard King Picker. Different people. Got it. You're in Nashville, bro. Hit me up. I'm here too. Sebastian says he's here from Spain. How much do you pay for the fulfillment of Amazon? I pay, I forget exactly, $6 to $8, depending on the book. $4 to $8, depending on the size, and fulfillment fees. And then Amazon takes 15% of each cut of each book. Yeah, 15% cut of each book. We'll hang out here for a few more minutes. Whatever questions you guys have about selling $1 million on Amazon. I've sold probably 5 million lifetime. I haven't tallied up my sales in a while, but I've sold a lot. So whatever questions you guys have about doing that, go ahead and ask away. I'm here for you guys. The last part of your question was, did you create a Shopify website to do dropshipping? No, I'm 100% Amazon FBA. When's the next book workshop? Next week, Wednesday, 6:30. I've not emailed you guys about this yet, but 6:30 Eastern time, it is going down. We are doing a book selling boot camp. I'm bringing on a few people that have done $10,000 a month, strictly cherry picking books. So they're probably doing about $5K profit. And I'm waiting on one guy to respond, but we definitely have George. George is from Louisiana, and it's going to be a movie. So if you guys want, also you guys have a chance to win $1,000. So I'm going to give away $1,000 of these books right there. That's $1,000 profit. That's actually like $600 profit for all my people in IG. Boom, over there. And one of you guys will be getting that. So keep an eye out. I'll be dropping the link in the next day or so for that. Next Wednesday, 6:30 Eastern time, $1,000 book giveaway. Yeah, it depends, Sebastian. It's not 50% fees each book. He's saying 50% fees. It's 15% fees. That's a big difference. But generally speaking, as a bookseller, you should sell about your books at a $20 average sales price. So you should be paying about $8 to $10 in fees. So it does come out to about 50% you're paying Amazon. Hi, Romer. When scanning books, what's the lowest e-score you're willing to pick up? You know, I'll pick up an e-score of 0 if the buy cost is low enough and the profit's high enough. So if the e-score is 0, but I saw that it sold last year on Keepa and the profit's above $100 and there's not that much competition, I will 100% pick that up. ¿Cómo estás, Enel? ¿De dónde eres? Or ¿cómo se dice? Where are you? ¿Dónde estás? ¿Qué parte del mundo? ¿Qué parte del mundo eres bailando ahorita? If you're still in Denver, that you're in Denver for like a week. All right, guys, couple more minutes. We'll get out of here. B Sports, Sebastian, Beard King Picker, Michael, whatever questions you guys have, ask away. And we'll get out of here. I got a bookshelf to make. Michelle says, ¿De dónde eres? No, I know where she's from. She's from Mexico City. I want to know where she's at right now. So, ¿dónde estás? Yo sé cómo hablar en español. Hablo español perfecto. Correct, 15%. Have you ever asked to raise capital and provide a percentage to your investor partners? Good luck. Yes. Have I ever gotten asked to raise capital and provide a percentage to your? Yeah, and I've actually done that before too. You just got to be careful. You got to make sure you know what you're doing, you know? And with used books, it's like, why do you need an investor? You don't really need an investor. Nick Noel, what's good? I mean, unless you're going to go really big with used books. I mean, we could talk about that. But before you take on investing for investment capital for anything, make sure you know what you're doing, especially with inventory. You know, you want to make sure you don't, if you're making 20% returns on your current flips. Let's say spend 10,000, 12,000 comes back. You got to make sure if you're going to take somebody else's money or a loan or something that you preserve that amount as it goes up. You know what I mean? You don't want to fucking take $100,000, blow up your operation, and now you're only making 5% ROI and you only make 5K on 100K, and then you got to pay it all back. You know, so make sure if you're ever going to take outside money, rule of thumb, measure your numbers like a fucking maniac and make sure you maintain that. The beauty of used books is you can spend 10K and make 10K. You can spend 10K and make 20K. It's but the hard part about used books is finding them. You know, you can find used books everywhere, but the reason why used books is such a good opportunity is nobody wants to put the fucking work in and go out and destroy their city. Nobody wants to go out and scan for 8 hours, 2 days in a row and make an extra 10K a month. It's hard work, but that's why the opportunity is there. Camilla says, I'm about to resign from Amazon FBA. I need to figure out how to fill out that Amazon form. I need to rewatch videos and about to re-sign to Amazon FBA. I'm not sure what you mean. You're about to quit or you're about to restart? Is go-to listener in Canada? Currently, no. Thoughts on selling media like DVDs and Blu-rays? I think it's getting better as time goes on. What's up, John? Side Hustle Experiment just entered the chat. Ingram, I believe Ingram's not selling DVDs anymore. Best Buy stopped selling DVDs. When I go out sourcing, there's a lot of DVDs that I come across that have like 4 other sellers on the listing. The e-score is about 10. There's no FBA offers. I come across these DVDs like all the fucking time when I'm out scanning. It's I think a lot of people have limiting beliefs around DVDs. I think they're still really intimidated by them, but at the end of the day, it's media. Just like this is media. What's the difference between a fucking CD and they're smaller. You can make more money on a $10 DVD and CD than you can on a $10 book. Like DVDs and CDs, assuming it's profitable, are better than books because the fees are lower, you know? Okay, we got to preserve it as we go. Can people contact you to join your crowdfunding or the way you raise it? No, I don't really take on. I actually do take on money from people, but it's just close friends of mine. And again, I'm preaching to myself here. Like I know the inventory I'm purchasing. I know it. I know exactly what it's going to bring back. I know it's safe. I know it sells fast. And that's the only reason why I'm comfortable taking on outside money. And I've made this mistake so many times over the last 6 years where I think X inventory purchase is good, but I don't really know. Like make sure you know. And you know if you know. How do you know if you know? Because you've sold the inventory dozens of times in the past at a profitable price. If it's your first time doing a deal, don't take outside money. Figure it out on your own first. How do you deal with CD that have holes? You just put them as acceptable. Just list them as acceptable. Michael. Bob says, I've learned a lot from watching your videos. I don't ask many questions, but I learned from your answers and others' questions. Well, don't be afraid to ask questions, Bob Hampton. I'm here for them for a couple more minutes. We'll get out of here. What's your favorite gum to chew? Nicorettes. All day, every day. Nicorettes. Pop them. 5 o'clock Central Time. I don't know why I'm acting so weird right now. This is what happens when I don't talk to people all day. Actually, I did talk to somebody. I went out with my dad, and we saw cicadas. The cicadas are fucking crazy here right now. 13 and 17-year cicadas. Close friends. Wise choice. Yeah, exactly. Close friends. Doesn't affect your credit score. Helps them make money. Why not? In the words of Watch Me Amazon, if you have profitable ASINs that you know, and this is like the most important caveat, that you know will bring in tons and tons of profit, and you don't have the capital, or you don't want to drain your bank account. Let's say you have 100K in the bank. You don't want to spend it all on inventory. Go take outside money, put it in the inventory that you know is good. And then if you run out of inventory to purchase, now your job is to find more ASINs. So if you're a good Amazon seller, you should be good at finding profitable ASINs. If you get good at that, then the only other thing you need to get good at is outside capital. And you don't even need to get that good at getting outside capital if you're buying good ASINs, because eventually the snowball effect, your money's going to turn into so much money that you don't even need outside capital. So your job, everybody here listening right now, is get good at finding profitable ASINs, profitable inventory, whether it's used books, CDs, DVDs, wholesale, whatever it is. Make sure you get good at that. B Sports says, if you were to start from zero, what would your game plan be for starting and running a book business? If I had to start from zero, I would post on Nextdoor, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist that I have a free book pickup service. Then on weekends, I would go to estate sales. I would find them on estatesales.net. I would go to all the garage sales in my area. wake up at 6 a.m. I would hit up a dozen locations before noon. I would probably find $800 in profit. If I'm good, I go to the wealthy side of town. Then from noon to 6 p.m., I would hit up my honey holes. I would hit up all the thrift stores in my area. Preferably, I would text the managers beforehand. I would know which places have the best inventory. I would know which places let me get backroom access. I get exclusivity to inventory that nobody else has access to. Then on Sunday, I would list all that inventory. I would probably go to my day job. I've never worked a job in my life, but I'm assuming that I'm broke, so I'd probably need a job. Then I would go to my day job Monday through Friday. I would make $2,000. Then I would rinse and repeat the following weekend. I would go out Friday, Saturday, get about $1,000 to $1,500 in profitable inventory. And I forgot to add, I would also hit up library sales. I would go to booksalefinder.com and I would call every library in my local area. I would put every library sale going down in the next 2 months on my calendar. I would make sure to go to those library sales early. I would buy Friends of the Membership library passes. I would show up to the library sale as early as possible, an hour early. I would help them set up. I would scan all the inventory before anyone else did. I would scan all the non-barcode books. Then I would show up again on Sunday for the bag sale. After I absolutely destroyed the Thursday pre-sale, I would show up on Sunday. And on Sunday, I would then go through all the non-barcode books and all the fiction books, because fiction books sell super, super fast, but nobody wants to buy them, especially if they're selling them for $2 a piece. But on Sunday, you can get them basically for free because it's the bag sale. And then I would go back, all the non-barcode books, all the fiction books, and I would spend probably another $100 that are going to make me, $400 in return. Do that every fucking week for 6 months, and you have a business cranking out 10, 15, 20 G's a month. And then I'd probably, either decide, do I want to continue this book business, or do I want to start doing wholesale or something else? That would be my approach if I had to start over from scratch. Simple scales. All right, y'all. Much love. Catch you on the next one. Peace out.